Ooh, what is that a sip of?
Oh,
what
it's
is
just
that?
straight. It's just water. Just water right now.
Oh man, come on! I thought you were gonna tell me like some nice sweet tea. You live in North Carolina, man. I was really just picturing in my head, or at least dreaming, that would be a nice glass of just good old North Carolina sweet tea.
I will bring some diabetes sweet tea next time we do a show together. I'll have some.
That.
I'll have some Bojangles tea.
So you don't you dare. That is the one. I don't like sweet tea. To me is okay, but for some reason, whatever they put in Bojangles sweet tea, that is some good stuff. I mean, that's the stuff.
It's amazing.
It must be. I'm telling you. And whatever they put in the Bowberry biscuits is also probably the same thing.
yeah. Sprinkle a little crack on it. Oh yeah, I'm bad about it. We got one right down the road.
So I ask this all the time. To people who live in North Carolina, or at least around the South, Bojangles or Cookout?
Oh man, that's tough. But Bojangles. If I grew up, Cookout didn't show up in our area until about 10 years ago, so it's still relatively new. But Bojangles has always been here.
Yeah, Bojangles is great. Bojangles is fantastic.
I love me some Bojangles.
I can't get past how cheap and how much food you can get in a Cookout tray. It blows my freaking little mind every single time that I'm paying like $5.50 for a tray, and I get like a barbecue, like North Carolina barbecue sandwich. All right. And I can get corn dog with it. I can get what do I usually? I get fries and a chicken wrap with it, and it's phenomenal. And you get a milkshake, and their milkshakes are fantastic.
You got to let that thing thaw out for a little while before you can ever.
Yeah, you do. That thing is thick. That thing is you have to eat it with a spoon, or else you let it thaw out. Because you're right. That thing's thick. That thing's thick with 2 C's. Absolutely.
But they're so good.
They're phenomenal. By the way, this is an NBA preview show, but since there's only one game, this is what I do. I stall every single time. So let me put this, by the way, in the Discord chat. I'm all over the place. You got me so into food right now that I didn't even send our Discord chat. Beautiful window.
They should know by now. We've had this matchup like 3 times in the last 3 weeks, so it's lather, rinse, repeat.
No, don't say that. Don't cheapen our show, Stoweby. No,
we're not. We're talking about food.
This is food. Yeah. Okay.
And look. While we're waiting on all this, I just want to take a moment. I don't think I've ever said anything, but just in case I did, I'm sorry, Kwame Brown, if I said anything to make you mad.
Kwame Brown is amazing.
Is going scorched earth on everybody, and I am terrified that I may have written something at some point in time in my life. I'm sorry if I did.
But I don't think Kwame Brown wants to look that. I'm here. Thank you.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He's not going to look that deep. But yeah, he's out for something. He's out for blood. He's trying to get somebody.
He's gonna get somebody. I just heard his most recent live stream.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's cooking everybody.
There's something about just a dude sitting in his car with the phone on, just talking shit to everybody
with no filter. The guy doesn't get on the internet, so he hasn't. We've all developed a filter because we always have to be cognizant of it.
Right.
He's been out on his farm plowing. Working on his tractor. He's a country boy. He doesn't care.
And look, I'm a radio host, so I come on here and I pull the switch on. I turn the switch on. And I'm certainly a little bit different than I am in real life. That's just how it is. That's what you got to do when you're entertaining people. But Kwame Brown, there's something about just a dude just being exactly who he is and just saying whatever he wants, like just firing off the hip. That just is compelling as absolute. Hell.
He has no endorsements to lose. He's got nobody to answer to.
He's got the farm. He's living life. He'll be he's fine. Yeah, self-sufficient.
Oh yeah, I'm all about all of this. I'm just every bit of it. I am eating it up. It's good stuff. It's probably about as much fun as these games the last couple of days, maybe a little more so.
Speaking of, obviously, we have to do a showdown lineup. There's no way around it. You have to do it. So just first start off with showdown strategy for NBA and what you kind of use.
On this, I mean, there's a couple of different ways.
I know it changes. Yeah, but what's I guess the usual strategy, like things that you try and do every single showdown lineup, or at least putting into a showdown lineup?
Well, you're wanting as many raw points as possible, really, because you're going to be chopping the pot. And if you can get some sort of insight on a low owned guy that should get some run, it's a little bit more difficult in NBA playoffs just because the minutes are so condensed. But we should be able to find some cheaper options with, Brogdon, LeVert, and Turner. We should be able to get some cheaper guys. If you can get like a mid range guy that's going to be getting high range usage and get him up in the captain spot, or you get the highest price stud and you get him in the captain spot. I mean, that's really the only thing we can do.
That scared the shit out of me, whatever that was.
Yeah, that was my phone. I need to put it on mute.
Oh, that was your phone? What kind of UFO sounding noise was that?
I just got it today. I haven't had a chance to set it up yet.
Oh, you got a new phone today?
Yeah. I got to get everybody. Actually, I changed carriers, so I actually got to shoot everybody a message.
It scared the shit out of some alien noise. I thought I was being abducted. But yeah, as we see with Indiana, LeVert out, Turner out, Brogdon still questionable. He's probably going to play, but still, I hate to say limited minutes, but it's just I don't know if you can expect a full game from Brogdon. 22
to 24 minutes, maybe 25. I mean, they might try to stretch it out, but I mean, the guy played his first game in a while.
The Wizards are gonna win this game, aren't they?
I think so. I think they're gonna win it. My lean is the Wizards on this tonight. If Brogdon was still there, I'd say Pacers, or if he was, full strength and with LeVert, but with those guys out, or with LeVert already out and with Brogdon limited, I will lean Washington just because Indy hasn't been playing any defense either. So
yes, yeah. We'll get to that because the total is interesting too, because I feel like they're trying to bait you here on the total because it's a little bit lower. But let's start out with some lineups here, and Jimmy Wagner sends us one, and only showdowns for today because of one slate, obviously, or one game on the slate, obviously. So Sabonis, Goga, Hachimura, Len, Dougie D, and Westy.
I think that's gonna be a fairly popular lineup, but I like it. Actually, Sabonis, between Sabonis and Westy, I would lean Sabonis as my main captain just because of the price savings. But with that said, he's also gonna be the big chalk. That huge price.
Yeah, difference. Is that the big thing here? Just trying to play that captain spot, just whatever. Yeah, it just kind of, I guess.
Yeah, it's so hard to get one of these lineups to take down by yourself on a showdown. It's you can get close even if you have the dead nuts. You got a possibility of sharing it. If you're like in one of those MME contests with 150 lineup entry guys, you could be splitting it with 200-300 people on a showdown slate in those larger contests. So it's really hard to get unique, and I'm gonna try and find a couple of lower priced options, but just know they are high risk. So I mean, they could very well flop, but if they go off, it'll get you in the first place.
TJ McConnell in the captain spot is what you're telling me.
McDermott, McConnell. I mean, it's you gotta find those Pacers mid range and kind of lower price guys that are going to benefit.
And it's only with the Pacers, right? Like that's the only way.
Yeah, I'm not really going to go captain spot on Washington. I mean, you're real top heavy, and you got Beal and you got Westbrook, and I really don't feel the need to get cute anywhere else. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's so top heavy. When Beal was out, you could go a little Rui Hachimura, you could go a little Davis Bertans, and Alex Len's fine. He'll hopefully get a few minutes and get you a few points at that nice, cheap. What is he at right now on 2,400? So I mean, that's a good value piece. I'd be okay with that.
Nice. So tonight, Indiana and Washington, again, fairly straightforward, as you said. So you're basically the big thing with you, going to find that mid-range guy from the Pacers to kind of take that captain spot. That's kind of your. And are we just looking at Westbrook, Sabonis? How are we, I guess, playing it with Sabonis, Westbrook, and Beal in this one?
I'm probably going to have all three of them in my lineup because we're looking at raw points. And my lean would be Sabonis 1, Westbrook 2 tonight, and then Beal 3. If you're talking about ranking those high price guys as captains, that would be my 1, 2, 3. And then if we can get some sort of word on any sort of minutes limitation on Brogdon, if you want to get really, really wild, if you find out he's going to get 26 to 28 minutes, if he gets 28 minutes, he could be, a sub 1% captain guy.
Yeah.
Because people aren't going to really want to play too much of him. So you might get him at a really depressed price or depressed ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So he could be a slate breaker, and that's something to keep an eye on. We gotta wait to see if there's any news on any sort of minutes limitation or if they're going to lift it.
Yeah, and I don't want to go too much into tomorrow's game because I know we're going to break that down fully and do another showdown and go through the betting. But just while we do have a question about it, Matt wants to go over the classic slate a little bit. So just real quick, what are you looking at for Memphis Golden State? I know just preliminary stuff. I don't know if you I've dove too deep into it yet, but just preliminary things. Just what have you been looking at for Memphis Golden State, and how would you kind of play it with this classic?
Joval's still too cheap. Actually, I went ahead and I set a lineup aside for the classic because I had a feeling somebody was going to ask.
There we go. Look at you, prepared. Right. Well done. Always prepared with a beautiful Guinness shirt on. The hair looks great. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm coming for you, Sia. Best hair on Win Daily Sports.
It's definitely not. See, that's the thing we need here on the NBA preview show because I have a hat on. Ghost has a hat on. We need good hair. We need somebody with a good head of hair. We don't have that.
This is going to be a nice, I'm growing it out for a while. I'm going to see how long I can get it. I've actually never had it this long.
Mine is grown out.
I'm going for a mullet like the last week of it that I have it. Beautiful. It's not going to be a long one, but I'm going to have a nice Kentucky waterfall and I'm going to do it. I'm going to let you guys see it on the live stream when I get it down shoulder length.
We're going to have a live stream basically based on the reveal of your mullet. Like the live stream is just going to be, we're talking about it. We're previewing it. And then it happens where you show us reveal the mullet. But let's help out Matt a little bit here with some of the classic slate. So you are prepared for it. So what is kind of or your thoughts or what it's been looking like your lineup just when you looked at the classic slate?
I mean, when I looked at it as far as the for the Indiana Washington side, I think you're still going to end up needing to get Westy and Sabonis in there just because of the short slate and the raw total. So I'd get those guys in. I still really love Valanciunas. I still think he's underpriced with the way that he's been performing. It's going to be hard to fit Curry in at 10-6, but that's kind of where I'm going to plant my flag. And then I'll go down to somebody like maybe like a Toscano Anderson. I know he burned me personally the other night. Just, he had 18 and a half points in the first half, and then he really didn't do anything after that. But he's somebody that I'd be willing to go back to. Poole would be somebody that I'm willing to go down to on Golden State just for some extra shots. Then on the Memphis side, I'm still going in with guys like Dillon Brooks, Triple J.
Yeah, he looked great, man. Brooks did.
Yeah, Brooks looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and that's probably maybe. Let me see here on the Golden State side.
Yeah, I'll go strictly to Golden State.
Maybe Looney, a little bit of Looney. He looked pretty good especially for 4K.
Yeah.
So that's another good value option that you can get in there. I have a feeling he's going to be playing a lot of minutes going up against Joval. So there's a few options there.
Joval, is that what you call? That's what you call Jonas Valanciunas?
Mm-hmm.
Is that because you don't want to say Valanciunas?
Look, I'm from North Carolina. If I have to pronounce that name too many times, I'm gonna mess it up. So I need my nickname.
You just punted. You flat out punted that shit and said,
"Look, DFS, man.
Not.
I know how to punt. I'm good."
Well done. All right, so that's a little bit of the classic and showdown. It's not a lot to go on here. So let's go to the betting side of things. How about we do that? So let me open it up and let's get some betting things. I know the Wizards were 3.5-point favorites against the Pacers here tonight. I'm leaning Wizards there. They're a 4-point favorite now. I don't know. Back down to 3.5. They went back down to 3.5. Literally just saw it happen.
Okay. All right. If it hits 4, that's
honestly,
that's my number.
So here's what you can do in betting, guys. If you don't know this yet, I'm sure those listening here, WinDailySports.com. My name is Jon Jansen. Also, David Stowe. I see the name. I didn't even know your name was David, but it's right there, Stoweby. That's great. But if you don't know, you can take some alt lines. Just buy that half a point. I like doing that all the time. Yeah, if it goes up to 4, just buy the half a point down to 3.5, and then you'll be able to. It's probably going to be juiced up maybe to -120, but yeah, it ends up being pretty much worth it for me. The money line right now -155. That gets into territory I don't know if I'd like. For some reason, and maybe I'm the wrong one here. I'm thinking of this game wrong. But I just think the Wizards they've done well in this series in the regular season, and I don't want to take that too much going into here, but just with players injured too for Indiana, I don't know, I feel like Golden State should be fine here. I feel like they should. You don't feel the same way.
Hold on, you said Golden State threw me off.
I mean, excuse me.
Pacers. Yeah, no. I
feel good about Washington.
I was missing something. Oh yeah, I feel fine about Washington. I still think it's going to be close, and I think the Pacers will still keep the tempo. Oh, you're good. Two yellow teams. I knew as soon as I realized I thought I was off somewhere. No, but yeah, the Indy can still keep up with them. They're gonna struggle a lot, but I mean they still have the shooters. We saw it the other night. They've still got guys in there that can score points. So there's a possibility Washington could run away with it. But then again, like I said the other night, it is still playoff Westbrook, and it's more. I think he's gonna be fine, but those mental errors are going to be there no matter what. It's not really the opponent that's causing these issues. It's him. I fully feel like it's a psychological thing where he feels like I'm in playoff mode. I got to go. But playoff mode for him is just too fast.
Yeah. At a ridiculous breakneck pace. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun to watch, but you move up that half a beat or full beat into playoff mode, and it could mess him up a little bit, and that's something that I'm considering. What'd you say the total was on this one tonight?
Total's out now up to 238.5, so it is moving up, and I imagine it would, because I imagine just people are smashing the over as much as they can. Yeah, you know what? I felt pretty good, honestly, about most of the play-in tournament games, the past 4. I don't know if I feel great about this one. I feel like that over-under is a trap, and also I feel good about Washington. I'd honestly stick there with the 3.5, and the total could be the best play, and just hit the over, and John stop being an idiot and thinking twice about it. But Stoweby, what do you think about it? Because it feels like a trap that has me second guessing.
Yeah, it does. And with it being the playoffs, my inclination is to lean on the under. Yeah, I don't think I've been wrong yet as far as that goes when I've called the unders. So I know last night I pretty much told everybody that Golden State LA Lakers game was not going to be low as far as the scoring goes.
Very low scoring.
I wasn't predicting the San Antonio kind of. I thought that was going to be a little higher, but that was good for DFS purposes, so I'm not going to complain. That actually worked out really well in our favor. But I mean, the unders just tend to hit more in the playoffs.
They do.
The way that it is, and jump on it early. You want to get on those before Vegas starts to adjust. You can get yourself a little bit of edge if you keep in the back of your mind that it does tend to get a little bit lower scoring, and you can go ahead and stay on top of that. So my inclination would be to go for the under. If you said it's up to like 238.5, you said I'd be good with the under on that.
I would probably go around, and I don't think the Pacers are going to put up 144. I think we can chalk up what happened in that Charlotte game pretty much to Charlotte just being all out of sorts and kind of losing interest, I would say, and even playing. They looked like a mess. I think this will be really competitive. This will be a hard fought game. I'm leaning just Washington 3.5. I for some reason think Washington's going to come out pretty strong here, and they'll end up taking the 8th seed. I feel
good. I'm okay with that. I think these injuries kind of tilt the scale.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, these guys were so back and forth in the last 2 matchups in those gigantic total games. I'm just looking at it, 154 to 141, and then Yeah, and then 133 to 132. Yeah, and both of
It's
those
high
are
scoring. Yeah.
yeah, both of those are regulation games, and I think that's why that total keeps getting pushed up because they look at it. So
Yeah.
I don't mind being on the other side of that. It's not going to hurt to throw a unit or two down on that, and be on the other side of it and make you a little extra money.
Yeah, I think so. This game, yeah, definitely a weird one though, because the regular season matchups, as you just said, have been so odd. Like basically, we had Washington, I think, won all three of those games too, if I'm not mistaken. So Washington's had the edge in this series, and it's been ridiculously high scoring. So it's been it's a really odd regular season series that they had, and now they're bringing it into the playoffs and the playoff atmosphere. And we had Washington not look so great against Boston, and we had the Pacers put up 144 against Charlotte. So it's like it's a really odd spot to be in. But I think I'm going to ride with still the fact that Washington has looked like the better team for the most part the last month and a half of the regular season. So I think I'll hang my hat on that.
And I feel good about that too. I'm with you on that. I mean, if Indy was fully healthy, I'd go Indy. But
exactly, yeah, yes.
Yeah, it's the same deal. I mean, I was expecting the game against Charlotte to be a little bit closer, and I guess that's on me giving Charlotte too much credit. They're still
not really knowing that they were not interested.
They're just ready to go to the draft. So, and that's fine if that's what they want to do. That's good. Do you get your situation straightened out and try to be better next year, which they should take a step forward. But I don't foresee it being that anything like that tonight.
That is it. We broke it down really well. We did it all. We went through the classic slate. We did betting. We did Showdown. We talked about Bojangles and Cookout, my two favorite places in the world. We talked about water and sweet tea. We did it all. I mean, we went through it. Kwame Brown. We did it all here. WinDailySports.com, the NBA preview show, play-in tournament preview. But I will not be back tomorrow because I'm getting my second COVID shot. So maybe
a little down for a couple days.
Maybe a little Ghost and Stoweby action. We'll figure that out. But we'll have something tomorrow for you before the game between the Grizzlies and the Golden State Warriors. But that's it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow. WinDailySports.com.